But, Mr. President, I read this morning in newspapers, and I've seen it even with the electronic. The governor of Oyo State calling on the United Nations to investigate the overall circumstances surrounding the kidnap and even the rescue. I thought that was the most unstatemanly. It was carrying partisan politics too far, and this Senate should condemn its unguided statement. Nigeria is a sovereign nation. When we wake up and call on foreign authorities to investigate, this is one case in which our armed forces have shown that without paying ransom, even if it meant that these children and some of the elders had to be in captivity for almost 2 months, that the armed forces were working quietly to have these rescue operations, which, as well captured in this motion, led to some loss of life. To trivialize it, to suggest, as the governor of Oyo State seems to have done, that there is something that is not open, that the UN needs to unearth the circumstances, is to question the sovereignty of our nation and to downplay the achievement of the Commander-in-Chief, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and all the service chiefs and in fact all those involved in this process. I think that there is a moment in the history of a nation when across party divide we should stand in unison to commend what has happened, the way in which people were released, and to encourage the armed forces to build on it, that they should extend and get more gadgets. It's not possible for them to share with us some of the things they did. Like I heard, they were able to identify the guys, arrest some of their relatives, etc., etc. These are not details that we're interested in. Very good point. But I want us to resolve that.
Thank you.
The governor of Oyo State should not be seen as downplaying, undermining, and politicizing an issue in which ought to be something that the whole nation, across party divide, should start the unity to commend our armed forces for what they have accomplished on this occasion.
Thank you very much. We now yield the floor to Senator Abdulaziz Eradwat,
representing Katsina Central. I rise to also commend Mr. President, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for this rescue effort, and also the armed forces, the police, and all other security agencies. Of course, my heart goes to Lieutenant F.A. Isaac, Private Silas Musa of 81 Battalion, as well as Police Sergeant Abina John Jerome, for the sacrifice they have made. I want to commend the armed forces, and this has shown the level of collaboration and the synergy that has been shown by the armed forces, the police, and other security agencies. However, I want to also call on them to sustain the momentum and also rescue all other Nigerians that are abducted across the other various states.
Thank you very much. The last but not least, Senator Issa Chocho, then we'll go to the prayers. Then we look at
people of Kogi East. Your Excellency, my worry is this. We have problem with intelligence gathering, and information management in this country. As it is today, everybody is bothered. As it is today, we feel that another community will soon witness this same occurrence. It's like, where next will it happen? The same intelligence that they have used or that they are using to rescue all these abducted children should also be used to forestall it, so that it doesn't happen. In fact, intelligence gathering is very important. When you see a group of people moving around in the night, and that they are suspects. They should be arrested. We shouldn't wait for all these things to happen. If they have been able to adopt intelligence to rescue these children, that same type of intelligence should have been adopted in the first place to forestall it. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. I shouldn't be accused of
efforts of Mr. President and the army and every other persons who were involved in the rescue of the children and the teachers. But I would like to add a vital part to this motion, please. And it has to do with the provision of psychological support, trauma counseling, and rehabilitation for the rescued victims to facilitate their full recovery from the trauma. And if it may be extended to every other kidnapped victims. We shouldn't just rescue them and expect them to reintegrate into the society. It's often not easy because most of them will suffer from PTSD and all whatnot. So in summary, the need for us to incorporate the provision of psychological support, trauma counseling, and rehabilitation for the rescued victims, not just for the Oyo victims, but every other kidnapped victims. Thank you.
Thank you for going with the time by strengthening Nigerian security architecture. Those in favor of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Also commend the Chief of Defense Staff, the Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Naval Staff, the Chief of Air Staff, the National Security Advisor, the Inspector General of Police, the Department of State Security Services, that is the DG, the National Intelligence Agency, and of course, the DG and all the staff of the Department of State Services, the National Intelligence Agency and all officers and personnel who participated in the operation for their exceptional professionalism, courage, patriotism, and selfless service to this nation. Those in favor of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes of it. Congratulate the rescued school children, teachers, and their families on the successful conclusion of their traumatic ordeal, and pray for the peaceful repose of the soul of the teacher who lost his life during the period of captivity. Those in favor of the prayer say aye.
Sir. Can I amend
Those
this,
against
sir?
say nay. The ayes have it.
Mr. Amendment to this.
Amendment.
Sir. Yes, sir. Mr. President, I just thought it wise to incorporate the...
Voted by Senator Natasha and second by Senator Kidike Plan, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 4. Pay glowing tribute to the memory of Lieutenant F.A. Isaac, N. 2003-49, Private Silas Musa, 23 NA, stroke 84, stroke 46404, 81 Battalion, Nigerian Army as Sergeant Abena John Jeremy, F, number F, or service number F, stroke NO, 234511. Nigerian Police Force, who paid the supreme sacrifice during the rescue operation in Orire, local government area of Oyo State, in defense of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and for the protection of innocent school children and their teachers. Those in favor of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes of it. Observe a minute silence in honor of the fallen heroes in recognition of their exceptional courage, patriotism, and selfless service to the nation. Those in favor of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes of it. Prayer 6. Extend the heartfelt condolences of the Senate to the family of the fallen personnel, the Nigerian Armed Forces, the Nigerian Police Force, and the entire Nigerian security community, while praying that Almighty God grants the departed eternal rest and comfort those they left behind. Those in favor of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes of it. Prayer 7. Commend Lance Corporal Adamu Hussein, service number 16NA, stroke 75-6430, 81 Battalion, Nigerian Army, for his gallantry and courage in the face of grave danger. Wish him a speedy and full recovery, and all the appropriate authorities to ensure he receives the best possible medical treatment and all welfare entitlement due to him. Those in favor of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes of it. All the federal government to sustain and intensify ongoing military and intelligence operations against terrorists, kidnappers, bandits, and other criminal elements across the Federation through the provision of modern equipment, advanced surveillance technology, intelligence capabilities, improved logistics, and enhanced welfare packages for members of the armed forces and other security agencies until every Nigerian can live, work, and pursue education without fear. Those in favor of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. Amendments to Mohammed Ndimi.
Thank you, Mr. President. My amendment to prayer 8.
If we have spent time to denounce in the past, it is just appropriate that on this occasion that our armed forces have demonstrated uncommon courage and apparently evolved a different strategy to rescue these children is something that all of us should commend. That said, just two issues. The emergency minority leader, Lady, spoke to about paying something appropriate to the men who pay the supreme price and others. I will add that if one man must be paid for loss of life, all those who have lost their lives in Borno, in Niger, everywhere else that the armed forces have been active, I do not think you can separate one from the other. So we have to have a general policy that deals with those of our countrymen and women in uniform who have paid the supreme price in the course of defending the country.